How'd you break the first screen?
I had my phone like on my chest, and I had my laptop on my lap, and I scooted forward, and my phone fell down on the laptop screen.
Ooh,
A place for humans. A place for humans.
sick. I love that. I love that you spent $300 on one and a 25 one. That's awesome.
The $300 one, I mean, it was cool and it looked beautiful, but
Right.
this one just sounds so much better. I don't know why.
Where'd you get that one from?
Etsy. I actually just bought a new one today from Etsy from the same guy, but I bought like the little bit more expensive one. But still, it was still cheap. The other, it was like $70, and he hand makes them.
That's awesome.
And he's like a great flute player too.
I love like about flutes is like
Sakani.
Each one just sounds different. It's just built a little different. Sounds
Yeah.
so much different, you know. That's sick.
I got real into it. I don't even really know what inspired me to get into it. Oh, I actually don't know. I remember I went to the Psychedelic conference, and there was a guy there that had a flute, but I brought my flute there because I remember me and him bonded over it. But I was just sort of dabbling with the flute when I first met the guy.
Yeah.
He had like a cool like $300 flute where it's got like two things in it, so you're playing two flutes at once. So it's got two tones playing at the same time. It was really pretty. Yeah, they're harmonizing each other.
Man.
It's got like a bass, and you can play like a rhythm kind of with like a higher. Yeah, that was what my $300 one was like, but it just didn't sound right for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this one sounds so rich.
Dude, that sounds literally, yeah, it sounds super good. It sounds like it does in the recording of it playing.
Yeah. It's only $25. I can't believe it. Like, imagine making this and selling it for $25.
Dude, like that means if that took him 2 hours to make, he made like $12.
There's no way it took him 2 hours to make either.
Yeah, there's no way. Unless he's just
I mean, maybe. I don't know how they make them, so I don't know for sure.
He's like, I made that in 5 minutes flat. Damn, dude.
Still, even if he did, it'd still be worth it.
Yeah,
worth it.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I just need for like his income.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. So
yeah, shout out to this guy.
Yeah, do you know who it is?
Sakani, Sicanni, and they're on Etsy. Sakani.
Code word dakota, 15% off. Start selling a bunch.
But yeah, I would
played it at the ceremony.
I would bust it out during the peyote ceremonies. Well, my friend Arielle, he plays the flute, and he has a bunch of them. And he always tries to encourage everybody to play music at some point during the ceremony. He's like the shamans. He helps the shaman. So if the shaman says like, hey, I need some water, he goes and get water. Or if someone needs help walking to the bathroom, he helps the people walk to the bathroom or whatever. So he's like the shaman assistant.
That's awesome.
And the music man and the fireman. He like keeps the fire going and plays the music. So I mean, like, it's a really important job. And at one point in the middle, like when the music gets going, he starts passing instruments out to everybody.
Really?
Yeah, and it's, I mean, for you, anyone that if they want to. Yeah, and usually like a little like little symbols with your like, little hand symbols, or you've ever seen those frogs, those wooden frogs with the thing?
Yeah.
He passes like those out. That's awesome. Like those little instruments, and it's cool. Yeah, and he busts out the flute, and I just watched him play, and I was like, I feel like I could probably do that. And then just like one ceremony, he was like, yeah, you can try. And I just, because you don't want to play a flute during ceremony and fuck everything up, you know?
Yeah, everyone's like, I'm having a really bad trip all of a sudden. Guiding people into walls.
But I did mess up before for sure. But it sometimes when you're in ceremony, the flute is just, it hits the right spot.
Yeah, bro. Anything like that. I've like one of my worst trips recently was because I put a playlist on YouTube, and the playlist ended, and it went on to its own music, and it went to like like not heavy rock, but some shit I don't even really listen to.
Like what kind?
I honestly don't remember. I'd have to ask the. So what happened was I was with two other people that weren't friends. I haven't done mushrooms in a while. We all took 5 grams, and I was like, oh, like that's a bold move, just to do.
Yeah.
And so everyone was down, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna right away. I start like going off in my own world. One person starts like getting like depressed, and like nobody really knows what's going on.
Is anyone I know that you're with?
Yeah, so it was Jeremy and Dalton.
Okay.
Jeremy Sparks, Dalton.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, they don't really even know each other. They're not like close friends, and
Yeah.
know what I mean. So it's like I'm the only one like connected through them. And then so this music's going, everything's okay. It's not bad yet, but 5 grams is rough no matter what music's playing. And I started like out of nowhere, I just started like I was like, oh yeah, well fuck the aliens. I don't even remember why I was saying it, but I like started repeating fuck these aliens, and like and then Jeremy like yelled at me. He's like, Dave, shut the fuck up. But he's like saying like he's like the cops are gonna get called or something. You're like screaming fuck aliens. And so
You were
like,
screaming?
like, yeah, I was like, fuck these aliens, like get loud, dude. And I'm wearing my apartment back in the day. So I fucking open the door, go outside, lay in the grass, and like I don't remember any more of this. Like this is where my brain is like, we're fucking, I don't know what's going on.
Mhm.
So I go back in and like I'm laying on the bed, and dude, for some reason I just felt like every animal ever was like I was getting cut open, I was bleeding with all the cow, like all the cow blood was coming out of me. And out of nowhere they call it like eventually they call their girlfriends, like they're like, I can't handle this. Dave's in there fucking thinking he's a dying cow. Like I'm in here throwing up, it was just rough. But when they get there, she instantly turns the music off, and I was like, oh, and I just felt so much better. And she was like, why are you guys listening to that? Where she was like, the next day she told us it was like this fucking death metal music was just like dum 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 in the background.
You didn't even know, you guys didn't even pay attention to was going?
I didn't even hear music at that point.
Right.
But right when she turned it off, all this
Clear.
madness stopped. Yeah. So like I totally get some flute ceremony, some drums going,
Yep. Yeah. Especially around a fire. A flute around a fire is always the
Right.
best.
It sounds so cliche, but it's cliche because it's real,
Yeah, because it's like a spiritual sound.
Exactly.
It just sounds like some guy's just like, I don't know, just on a mountaintop, just looking at a sunset, just like playing in the distance.
Yeah. And when you messed up, they probably didn't even notice.
Yeah, you should buy one. They're cool.
Dude,
It's a
I'm
cool.
about to buy one from your man.
Yeah, you should buy one from him.
Well,
And it's so easy to play. Do you remember playing the recorder?
yeah.
It's the exact same.
The recorder. That's it.
Yeah, it's the exact
Awesome.
same. And I remember I was like
Fire.
always good at my recorder a little bit. Not good at it, but like I remember like I actually kind of took it serious when I was in music class.
Yeah.
I was always
That's-
like, playing it.
Trying to actually get down.
And I feel like that's where it comes from. I can still play because of that.
Yeah, I feel like, we're a lot alike in that sense. Like if I have like a little toy of something, I try like making it sound sweet. Like I'll practice on it.
Yeah, like that one toy that you have, that thing.
My kendama.
Yeah, what's it called? A
Yeah.
kendama?
Yeah, like dude, like nobody else. A bunch of people have gotten those because of me, and they like play with it for a week and stop. I'm over here sweating sometimes.
You're on like 3 years, I feel like.
Probably about a year and a half, maybe. Yeah. But dude,
Still, I feel like you're a pro now, though. Have you noticed that you've gotten better at it?
oh yeah, for sure. I can do when you're getting better. It's like when you can do stuff you never thought like, oh, that's impossible to do. And now I'm like, I did that 3 times in a row. But what's his name? Can't think right now. Who's fucking the
Adam
podcast
22?
dude. Yeah, Adam 22. That's how Gabby found out about it.
That's how I found out about it too.
It's so funny. So like in the
Does he
rap
own
game
that
and stuff,
company?
he owns his kendama company. But
Oh, he don't own like the toy itself, but he owns like
it's like it's mainly from Japan, but it started in Italy. Weird. Went from Italy to mastered in
what happened to
Japan.
yo-yos?
I think they're still out there.
Yeah, they are still out there, I think. I just saw a guy on Instagram that was still pogoing.
Really?
Yeah, he was like pogo champion. I was like, how many people are you going up against?
He's like, well, there's 15 of us. I'm still number 1. No. And do you remember those dudes would like come to like your elementary school for like a
Yeah. Yeah, they were cool though.
Yeah, they were like insanely good.
Yeah, what are those guys doing now?
I hope it's still that. That'd be awesome.
That would be cool if there's just like a secret world where like they're just making money doing that still.
They're like, shh, don't tell no one.
They're just like
Making bank.
super famous in that world.
Yeah, yeah. They can, like,
Go to the airport, they
yeah,
like
yeah.
pogo guys waiting to like just meet them.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, they have groupies.
That'd be a funny movie,
Yeah, that'd be
like
hilarious.
the pogo championship movie.
Oh my god. Like that dodgeball movie back in the day. Remember that?
Oh god, that's where he
It
throws
hit
the
me like
wrench.
that. Yeah, exactly. It's
Or
that's
like
what-
Blades of Glory.
Yeah. Dude, those movies were good.
Yeah, those movies are
Hilarious.
great. I feel like they don't really make good movies that much anymore. They're just sort of remakes. They're bad remakes of old movies,
Yep.
like
And dude,
Ghostbusters, but it's all girls this time. Or it's like Shrek 13.
I know.
Fuck.
Didn't need it. You guys could have made something new by now. Yeah, it's even
Forrest
in the
Gump.
video game.
I wonder if they do a new Forrest Gump.
Oh my god, but Jenny's the one like running and just switches everything.
So funny.
No, they probably will, man. They probably
But
will.
Interstellar was a good one.
Interstellar was, dude,
That's
Gabby's
got to be
favorite
one of the
movie.
best. That's my favorite movie too. I feel like that has to be one of the best movies ever made. How do you even make that movie?
Dude.
Like I watch it and I'm just like, how did he make this?
I know, like the cinematic feature.
Like,
of it,
how do
the
you
story.
film this?
Yeah, the filming, like I could see like you
All
writing
of
that
it. Like
story
remember
right
when he's falling through like that crazy dimension at
behind
the end where he lets
bookshelf.
himself go?
Spoiler. Oh yes, bro. When it, yeah, he's like behind time.
Oh my god,
What?
dude,
You
that
think you're just
movie.
watching a space movie.
Oh man, it's so
Dude.
good.
So it's funny. Gabby put that movie on and I fell asleep because she watches every space movie.
Yeah,
You know, me in space. Like, we don't like get along. So,
but that one's so cool. That one like explains.
that one.
It explains time travel pretty cool because you know they say if you go to a different planet, like if you have a twin brother and you're born on different planets, you age differently because the time is different on the different planets.
When they lose like 30 years or whatever. Or
Well, it depends, I guess, where you're at.
Well, no, remember in the movie they like go somewhere and they're like, we just lost 8 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Fast enough.
Fuck,
dude.
they're like every hour is 8 years.
Grandma's gone, dude.
And remember, they leave that guy, like there was the one black guy in space with him,
Yep.
and they left him, and they were only gone for a few hours, and they come back, and he's an old man. And he's like, "You
Yeah.
fuckers left me alone for like
Oh,
years in space by myself."
blink
But
of
they're
an
still
eye,
young.
that's
They're like,
all.
"It's only been 2 hours,"
Yeah, dude. Dude, how did that just?
and
so
that's
weird.
real. That would really work like that in space too. I think
know.
that's what
Yeah.
relativity is, right? That's what
Yeah,
Einstein
time, space,
came
and
up with.
relativity. But what's weird is like to me, it's like time is just like this blanket of everything. But that's being, that's just my world. Time's a blanket in this world. But like, how does it change if you're on this planet? I'm on this planet. 1 second's still a second.
Yeah, because it's I don't know. Let me think about it.
We're fucking just high right away.
I think it has to do with the gravity.
The gravity of space.
I
Yeah,
think
so,
so.
like, so then like maybe once, I don't know though, because like he aged different and they didn't. For it to work like that, because like you'd have to literally be in this place for a small amount of time, and I'm
it's
here
because
a long time.
it's because they're traveling at the speed of light.
So they're moving really fast.
So they're moving at the speed of time, I think.
That's so crazy to me because it's like if I move faster, do I stay younger? Do I need to start running?
Yeah. So it has to do with gravity, I think, because gravity keeps you within the certain amount of gravity that you're being pulled towards determines like we're this close to the sun and the denseness of this gravity is 24 hours to rotate or whatever.
Right.
So I think if you're further away, it's different.
Yeah.
And I
mean,
guess
dude,
I don't know how that fucking works.
I guess
Someone
yeah,
can
I-
explain it. Someone
no
in the
one
comments can
can.
explain it. Yeah, no one can.
Even like I think Neil deGrasse Tyson's like, let me tell you why. Like I hate Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm so sorry. I just
I-
don't like him, dude.
I loved him until like the later episodes when he was doing with Joe Rogan and he would just interrupt him all the time and he was just like
that was like the beginning of the true end for me. I was already like, man, this dude is like, right when Joe Rogan was like, I love Joe Rogan to death, but when he was like, science needs a cool guy like you, I'm like, this guy's not cool, man.
he is. I think
don't-
he who do you think the
like
cool science guy would
cocky.
be? Yeah,
I
he
don't
is.
think there is one.
Yeah. Bill Nye.
Yeah, Bill Nye's like,
He's
he
pretty
was
cool,
cool
kinda.
when we were kids. Yeah, for sure. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
this dude, he made me interested in stuff.
You're making
Neil
like
deGrasse
goo and
Tyson stuff.
shit coming out of like,
Exactly. He was fun.
yeah. You remember
Not even a
COSI, the
scientist.
Science Center
Oh
in
yeah, bro.
Toledo?
That place was sweet.
And it had like the bicycle that you could ride across on the ceiling.
That was like the grand finale of that trip. Everybody got the
But I remember
bicycle
that's like
ride.
where you would see Bill Nye on like, he would be like on like the preview of like a thing before you entered it. Like, hello, kids.
Yep. Doing some shit.
Hell yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
He's not even a scientist though.
Yeah, he's an engineer.
Yeah, that's so crazy. My man though. Like
Yeah.
at least I guess at least Neil deGrasse Tyson is a scientist, right?
It's a physicist, I think. He's a proper scientist.
Yeah, that's so he's got that part down. Yeah,
But-
dude, that episode where he interrupted him all the time.
Oh my God.
Can't believe you ever had him back on. That was brutal.
That was so
Like,
brutal.
very
And it was just so
wild.
like he would not he took everything with such a positive, confident stance. Like, no. And he's like, come on, you have to like,
Like if when you just said all that shit about space, obviously that's where he's at. But if I was just like, no, it would be like this.
yeah,
Let me tell you why.
yeah.
And like he's like, bro, are we not thinking and like in having
You want to know?
fun?"
So I had a crazy thought once, because you know how they say some of the stars we see are actually burnt out because the light hasn't reached us yet. Have you ever heard
Yeah,
that before?
It's already blown up. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's gone a
light years
million
away,
years
it's gotta
ago.
reach us.
It, yeah, it just hasn't reached us yet. So I thought maybe like that means that some of these UFOs that are traveling to Earth, if they're traveling light speed, that means they could be like thousands of years from the past, and they're traveling to us in the, or I don't know if they would be from the future. Or if, I guess they'd be from the past.
Yeah. I mean, oh right.
So like if they have some technology, they could be from like 20,000 years ago, but they're just traveling so quick
And
that
so,
in
like,
normal time, it's 20,000 years later.
like, but everyone at their planet has died. It's switched
Yeah,
a
they're
thousand
way,
times.
yeah, they're
Their, like,
thousands of
planet
years
might be
gone now.
gone, yeah.
That's like the sacrifice of, that's the sacrifice of traveling through space, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, that's the sacrifice of anything like that, you know, because like if we always think about traveling through space like shooting through, but like what if it's just a portal where you're just like, "Ooh," you know?
It has to
Okay.
be.
Yeah, there's no
Because the only way that we could travel through it would it be like if we built an Earth, if we built an ecosystem that we generation after generation could just survive there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't even know if biological life can travel through space. That might be why we're turning ourselves into robots, is to like,
Dude,
so
you
we
know,
make it.
You said something forever ago, and I mean, we were probably just getting into psychedelics that stuck with me forever. And I told Gab about this like last week. You're like, all right, so here's the water, right? Like the fish can't come into the air; they
Yeah.
can't breathe and exist out here. And like that's space for us. And like I never even thought about like water, air, then space is just that again for us.
Yeah,
Like, it just
exactly.
repeats again, and then there's
Well,
something
you know what I
new.
think, so I thought about this once really deeply. And if you think about the steps of evolution, you start off as like a microorganism. We all started off in water, then we evolved to land. And then the next step is to evolve into space. So it's like we keep
Right.
evolving into these oceans of like whatever, and then whatever is outside space will be the next level. It'll probably be like
Yeah.
complete transcendence or something. And you can
Yeah,
think
yeah.
of planets as being like islands. So you have to take a ship and you're going from island to island, and there's just these,
It's like the Eastern Islands, like in the middle, and then all the stuff, there's stuff's over here, like you're on your little planet, and more planets. Like there's planets that are so big compared to us that it would be like you're saying from like Alaska to all of America, and you just got to be. That's crazy.
Do you think that there's a type of Star Wars situation that's actually happening somewhere? Like where there's different
Well-
species that are hanging out together and maybe like all meeting up somewhere on a planet and they're just like drinking in a bar or something?
Yeah, like all openly being the alien they are. Like, oh, that's
Yeah, they're just
Smugmar.
it's- but they got like maybe technology where they can understand each other or something.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. They're drinking in a bar. I would
Yeah,
love
just
that.
chilling. Yeah.
There's just like alien strippers and it's just
Smoking
no
like
one's going
cigars
far.
and alien weed.
It's all about partying. Yeah, that'd be awesome, dude. Well, if the universe is anything like we're thinking, then yeah, it has.
It has to be,
over and
right?
Over forever.
That
Like,
means
it's like
that means everything has to be happening somewhere.
always.
How boring that we fucking got born in this dead part of the universe where there's just nothing around us.
Yeah.
At least that we
Or-
can see.
Or
Yeah,
if
we
you go
noticed.
back to the fucking flat earthers or people like that thinking like this is the center of the universe, and we
So what
are
does
the
that mean
only
if we're the
thing.
center of the universe?
I don't know. That sounds terrifying.
What
to me.
position does that put us in? That makes us,
Makes us like in a cage or something. I feel like
well, I don't know if it makes us in a cage, but it just like makes
it's
us,
just this.
if the earth is the center of the universe
There's
and
nothing else. So
there's
no
nothing
planet.
else, there's no planets. That's what they think. There's
I
no
mean,
other
there's-
planet.
No, they so that like you know how some stars move? Those are called wandering stars, and every other star is stationary. So that's why like they say that I have no fucking idea, mind you, but they put like the camera there, and like the stars will do like that perfect swirl forever
Yeah.
or whatever. And so basically it's
That's
like
because the
a
earth is
disc.
spinning, right?
Yeah. But they're saying spinning this way, like flat, like on a disc.
Right.
So it's all or
Like a
no,
record
the Earth
player.
isn't. I'm sorry, the Earth isn't spinning. The stars are spinning. Yeah, you're right. The Earth is flat, stationary, doesn't move at all. My bad.
Okay.
But then under is like the underworld, and I think it's something with an S, Shira or something. And like so, Mayans and everybody thought this that above us is the firmament, and then in the Bible it says there's the doorway to heaven, and then there's a window. But there might be two windows or there's one. But the firmament is where that story in the Bible comes from, where they try building the tower up. Because I thought about this, dude, and this is just so random. People will probably think I'm fucking crazy for this, but you know how they used to say like all the continents were together, right?
Yeah, Pangea.
Pangea, right? So like everybody was connected. So like I think that's when in the Bible, if any of this ever happened, that's when they tried building the tower up to God, which they think there's like, whatever they were going to do. And then that's when the earth split. Now I'm saying like I fully believe in the Bible at this, but it's just a cool thing to put together. Like then that's when the earth split and separated everyone. Mind you, I don't believe that at all, but
Didn't they say something in that story where it's like everyone spoke the same language, but because people wanted to be like gods,
yeah, they're
that
trying to build a tower to God. Yeah.
and God was like, nope, you guys can't talk to each
You're
other
just
anymore. So you guys are gonna go over here, and you
trapped.
guys go over here, and you're not gonna be able to you're gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. Probably gonna.
And
go
that's
to
where
war
this
with each
lack
other.
of self of spiritual understanding comes from, because we're split. We're not full because we're not able to fully
Right.
to express the human spirit, because we're all split up
Yeah, it shows how
culturally and
weak it is.
linguistically.
It's like if the spirit is so weak that just like lines, in the sand can split us up, it's not good. Yeah, even if water can do
Well, if
that.
God did it, then
I know. Yeah.
we're
What if
up
that's just
against
the
like the
nine
mega
facts?
boss.
I know God's an asshole. Dude.
He seems to be an asshole. The God of the Bible is. Do you know the story of Job?
A little bit, but
The
tell me.
story of Job is like this farmer, and he's such a great guy, super devoted. Like he's like such a good I guess devotee of God, and he's just living a simple life. And the devil goes to God, and he's like, I think I could tempt him and get him to break that. And God was like, I don't think so. Like I could put him through anything and he would never lose faith. And the devil was like, I don't know. I think I could do it. And they like shake hands on this deal, the devil and God.
God's like, bet.
Yeah, God's like, bet. And they fucking just put him through hell. They give him like boils and blisters. I think they kill his family.
Yeah.
And it's just like this horrible. It's like, God, what are we to you?
Yeah.
Like,
and
this is
like-
what you and the devil are doing in your spare time. You guys are just like, okay, rolling dice with just like normal,
With us.
like beautiful saintly farmers.
Yeah, like dude, you could have picked anybody. You picked Job.
Yeah, you picked
man.
Job. Come on.
Does Job break? Or does he
I
stay
forget.
true?
I don't think he breaks.
I think he stays true. God's
I
like,
think he stays true. But I think there are moments where he's just like, why? It's just keep happening.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, like that's the whole part of it. He's always questioning, like, why God, why?
Yeah.
But yeah,
But he never
God's like-
loses faith. And then
God's like,
God does, I mean, the whole story of even having to sacrifice your own son to forgive your own creatures that you made. It's just like such a
No
twisted,
sense, dude.
twisted, sick story.
Yeah, it makes no sense, but until I'm fucking tripping balls on mushrooms and
Yes,
works its way back
because
into my brain.
actually, it's the only way for us to connect. If if the story is true, if Jesus is the only son of God and that story all played out and it really is real,
Right.
you have to think about what would it take for human beings to actually wake up. I mean, like some dickhead saying like, I'm God, you know, whatever. But what Jesus did, like the whole symbolism of Jesus absolutely just
sure.
completely sacrificing himself in this kind of way is like, well, and if he walked on water and did all this stuff, it'd be crazy if that was real.
Man, you a few magic tricks. Like, there's some perfectly placed stones right here. If I fucking book it. Like, that's where it gets wonky. That's where I feel like man comes in, right? They're like, dude,
Well, I think it's
walk
probably
on water.
symbolic. It's probably like really,
I hope
it probably
so.
means something.
I mean, that's even if the translation that the Bible is even fucking.
I've seen the real Dead Sea Scrolls.
Have you?
Yeah, it's in a place called the Temple,
Oh,
the House of the Scroll. Yeah, the House of the Scroll. It's in the Museum of Jerusalem.
Damn, that's what's it look like?
Just some like crazy ancient scroll. It's
a
in like a
fucking
circle and it's
madman
wrapped
made it,
around.
right?
And it's, you know what they say? That's the thing that John Marco Allegro translated and said it was a mushroom
Yes.
cult.
Yeah, he's the only one that's banned. There was like 11 of them that
They,
broke it
you know,
all
the
down.
Vatican bought his book and they bought the rights to his book and then cut it off from being published.
Jeez. Yeah, like, so can we not read that book? Is it?
No, you can find it still. I have a copy of it.
Oh yeah.
And then he ended up writing a second book because of that.
It's like,
And he ruined his career basically. Everyone was like, no way. I read the book. It's pretty academic, so it's like some parts are like you have to really give it the time. You can't just like scroll through it.
Yeah, we're not smart enough. Like, I'm not. I'm saying.
Yeah, you
would
just
have to, like,
I mean, you
really
just have to
know what the
read
fuck
it.
I'm
You just have to
reading.
really, really pay attention. Because it's
Yeah.
like talking about ancient names and stuff. So it's like, oh God, you know, trying to pronounce the name. But anyways, like
Yeah. Oh God.
it's incredible. Like
trying to remember them all.
this guy, it really is. It's not like he had an agenda. It's not like he was trying to find it. He's just simply a guy that can read this ancient language. And he was tracing the words back to the etymology. So he's saying like, okay, if you take this root word here and trace it back, it means mushroom. And he's like, it's not like he was like trying to promote it. It's just
He's like, I'm not pumped about this. I'm just telling you what I found.
This is just what it
I
says.
don't have an agenda.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, yeah. And in reality, everyone else did.
And in reality, everyone else did.
I'm gonna keep my job. Fucking, what's his name?
John Marco Allegro.
John's getting fired. Like, you know.
And there's an interview of like him, and they're like, "Have you ever tried mushrooms?" And he's like, "God, no."
Oh, really?
He's an old English guy, you know.
I wish he would one time before he goes. After all that, he's like, he becomes like a new Jesus out of nowhere.
Well, it's interesting, you know, you don't find any. There's another book called the Psychedelic Gospels, which breaks down all the different psychedelic art that you find in cathedrals. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those pictures, but there's some insane, very, very, very obvious mushroom
behind it. What they're holding upside down and stuff.
Yeah. And it's like so obvious. Like anyone that's listening, you can just simply Google Jesus and mushroom and you'll find so many insane old
like mushroom art, anything.
Yeah. And that guy actually agreed to come on my podcast. The guy that wrote that book. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but I never booked a date with him. We should do it. I'll reach out to him and we'll talk to him. But yeah, so you don't really see too much mushroom art in the Middle East at all. Actually, I don't think there's any.
Really?
It's only in Europe, and it only comes up in Europe around the 1600s. That's when Spain was colonizing the Americas. So I was wondering, maybe when the priests and missionaries were over in Mexico, they're going to come in contact with the shamans and stuff.
Right.
I think maybe the shamans were like, try this.
Yeah.
And they're like, holy shit. They took it back to Europe. It spread through the priest circles, you know, not like known to the outside world.
Yeah. The inner core first.
The inner circle, the inner council, and it was hidden in the art.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. If me and you only knew about mushrooms and no one else did, I'd be like we have magic. and no
Yeah,
one else knows about
we
it.
have
We have
we
something
would
we
get
can't-
burned.
Yeah, you know, especially like that. But like, imagine them, like, if they're high in order, they're like, we have like an ability over people that people don't have. It almost like, you know, they're using knowledge as like a weapon and keeping it secret. But then what does that go back to? Like the cave drawings that had mushrooms everywhere. It's like mushrooms have always been here. It's
They've
not
always
like
been here.
and they're all over. But it is crazy, like when you listen to like people like when people used to go hunt mushrooms, they'll put them in mushroom bags and shake them everywhere. And like a bunch of these mushrooms weren't in other parts of America like they are now. It's worse than, I mean, not worse than ever. It's as best as it's ever been. The mushroom is, as you know, strains are everywhere now
Yeah.
in the ground. But that's from hippies, like taking the bags and shaking it wherever they go.
Really? From the spores just falling
Yeah.
everywhere?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Can you grow them outside yourself?
Oh, easy. So like, say if you're growing mushrooms and like, say you get a contamination or something, you're like, or like, say you're done with it.
Uh-huh.
If you go bury it in your backyard, you have mushrooms grow for forever, probably.
Really?
You know, not a lot, but yeah, like you know, a little patch here, and then it'll just spread, and then yeah.
It would be cool to grow some amanitas or even like some other ones like the
Uh,
turkey tails or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Those have to be hard to grow because people hunt for those, right? Like,
Yeah.
and they're like, when they find it, they're like, they're so pumped. So it has to be, yeah, lion's mane, anything like that would be sweet to grow.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is crazy. Like we're just now figuring out the intelligence of the mushroom and how it can be like how it just helps everything. Like there's a mushroom for everything.
Yeah, for everything.
It's insane.
It is. They're not a plant. I mean, they're just their own
So-
little creature.
What about this David Icke podcast?
Dude, yeah, that's insane. That could, well, do you have a date or anything for
Yeah,
that?
the 8th. It's already scheduled.
Okay.
He sent me a time and everything.
Oh.
I'm
what
so
else,
stupid. I never
what
like
else-
David Icke was like one of those people when I was a little kid and into conspiracies. I was like, oh, I'd love to just get to pick this guy's brain and just, you know.
Yeah, like I thought he was like a celebrity when I was young.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, you know. But so, I remember like early on, people like hated him too, though. Because
A lot of there's people that are gonna hate him for sure. There will probably be people mad that I have him on.
really. Well, I mean, he's the guy. Like he came out and said reptilians were real. So
Yeah, he
people
said
are
reptilians and
bro,
stuff are real."
what? And it's funny because that back then, that's like where they. I mean, even now today, you say reptilians are real, people draw the line. But like when you were talking about like, is there plants with like, you know, like a bunch of aliens sitting around? Like, dude, it would not blow my mind at all if like I found out people
Well-
were aliens too.
My reptilian theory is imagine a planet just like Earth, an Earth-like planet, and it has evolution worked the same way, and there were dinosaurs or reptilian-like creatures there, and the asteroid didn't hit. They just kept evolving and they got smarter and their environment adapted and they became what humans became. And they became technological creatures, but they're a reptilian and they came to Earth. And the thing is I don't know why they would be running Earth. Like why wouldn't they just be
Well,
like,
what
yes,
if-
we are lizards. And then we would just be
Nothing
like,
you can do.
okay, this is your planet.
Absolutely, like a lizard god. But what if it's this Earth? What if all that still happens and like, so you have the monkey and you have the lizard, evolution, whatever, we keep moving, and they somehow go into like, not hollow Earth theory, but that's where reptilians live. And like the theory, they live in hollow Earth.
One theory.
They come up, yeah.
Because there's
it's
another
one of
theory
them.
that came from Nibiru.
True. Well, yeah, aren't those like the ancients though? Because that's his.
That's Anunnaki.
Okay, so then the reptilians came from that planet as well.
Well,
they also
I think in
have-
his original idea, the David Icke idea,
Yeah.
was that there was a planet X that had this highly elliptical orbit or whatever that even I guess
On
some scientists
to our
say
sun.
it is real, I think, right? Or there is some kind of mass or something.
It's the 11th or 10th planet. Yeah, people talk about, it's where 10 planets you just.
There are genuine scientists looking for it or have found
Yeah.
it or something. There are
say
signs
there's
of it.
something, Yeah,
Yeah.
there's something that they don't know that's out there.
Yeah.
How they know that, we don't know.
Well, because they can see it. So what the way they do is they have a map of the sky and they see the stars there, and they
Gotcha.
can tell when an object blocks the stars, and they can
Okay,
tell
and
when
this-
it comes in patterns.
Okay.
So that's how they tell. So, and they found some weird object recently too that was had an irregular pattern, like it was just like
Picking its own way.
picking its own and come in and go in. But so, anyways, these reptilians came from this planet, and they came here because they were destroying their atmosphere, and they needed gold apparently to strengthen their atmosphere, and Earth had an abundance of gold.
Yeah.
So they came here, and they were like, okay. They looked around. They saw that there were intelligent ape-like creatures here. They genetically modified us to become slave race and
Farm
mine
gold.
for them.
Yeah.
And then they left. They got their gold and they left. And then that's why we still have this inclination in us to, just like be this. I mean, there's like a natural where we just work and we're basically slaves to this like kind of system we're in. And we
And
just
we
do
love
it like
shiny
ants. We don't even think
things.
about it.
Yeah, we love gold. Like naturally, you look at gold.
And
you're
we
like,
love
"That's
gold
beautiful."
naturally too. Yeah.
So then, like, they started finding out, like, it, to if you like take rubber and like run electricity through it, it's okay. You won't get electrocuted, but
Yeah.
the best is gold, like without a doubt. Gold's like, that's what runs it the best. That's why they say that a lot of stuff in space is wired with gold. Like if you stole something from a satellite, you'd be balling. Like,
I just met a kid a couple days ago. His grandpa worked for SETI. Do you know SETI? Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. It's where they shoot. It's like, I think Carl Sagan started it. Do you know who Carl Sagan is? I think he started this. So it's like it's a real program. And I think they shoot radio waves out, or they're trying to pick up radio waves or something. I don't know exactly what they do, but they're trying to
send a signal.
See if there's any technological signals in space that we can tune into.
Right.
And they found one time.
No.
And they never found it again.
It was just like, how'd they connect with us? Turn that shit off.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
They saw her. Yeah, they saw her camera over there.
Like a CIA UFO like truck of aliens.
Yeah. No, that's crazy though, man. I mean, there's so much going on like that in this world. Like when you just look up, man, the fact that like we're numb to looking up, like blows my mind. Like, I was just smoking weed the other day, looking outside, and I was like, and this is the trippiest thing ever. Like, mushrooms are crazy. It's all crazy.
So what do you think then? Do you think it is space, or do you think you just? I mean,
I don't know, to be honest. I really don't.
We're gonna know soon. We're gonna find out soon. If these
Yeah.
because space tourism, I mean, they really are working towards it.
I mean, it's like a plane really goes up in the air. So if you go up in a rocket, it's really going to go up in this, but it's like, what are they doing? Like, if you don't go up high enough to see curvature, then that's not space for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or what if you went so far away, you saw the whole planet? I'd be like, word, this was worth every
Oh
penny.
fuck, that
Dog.
feeling, man. What would that be?
Oh no, dude. Yeah. What would it be?
Well,
You
they
know,
say these astronauts have these crazy spiritual realizations when they're there, because there's no denying the oneness that we all share, and to just look at Earth and just be like, oh my God, man, everything that ever happened has happened there. Everything, all the times you were a kid, you scraped your knee, you snuck out, you fell in love, you got your heart broken. Hitler, Tupac, Genghis Khan,
Jesus Christ, all of it.
everything, Jesus Christ, the Buddha, everything happened at that little planet. And here we are,
Yeah.
And I've heard people talk about astronauts talking about this. I've never actually heard an astronaut say this, but I feel like you would have the craziest experience if you were able to leave Earth and look at it. I mean, it makes me feel weird just thinking about it.
I know. Yeah, it's like imagining what that looks like out of that window, and especially if the windows were dope and not like little plain windows. Like,
but it is weird that they changed the way the Earth looks throughout time like that, since like the 70s, how it looks different, and every like decade it changes, different colors and different shapes.
The problem is, like, when you're dealing with the government, like, it's just so hard to trust. It's like, okay, here's this conspiracy with that, and like, but before I hop to that, I have heard Joe Rogan talking about an astronaut went into space, and then he came back down, and all he could do is just lay in his yard every day, like he was like, and just stare back up at space, and look at the stars. And he said, like, as he came back in, like as he got closer and closer and closer, and then once they landed, like, and then everybody was just so like oblivious and like all the bullshit again, and like how humans are, and he's like, you don't know how beautiful it is up there. and like the fact that like we could ruin this all. You
We
know?
are, and we are. I
Oh.
think. I mean, even if we're not ruining it, which I personally think we are. I know some people
What if
don't
you
think we are.
can't? What if the planet can't be ruined?
I don't think the
Like,
planet can be
how-
ruined, but we can ruin it for us.
Yes. Okay. I agree.
Yeah.
The
And I
planet's
think
too
we
badass.
are.
It's like, well, I'll ice age right now.
Yeah, the planet doesn't care. The planet doesn't give a shit at all. Speaking of that, the last ice age is the footprints that they found.
Yeah. So that
23,000 years, they think, between 21, 23,000 years.
you have to find out if we can go there because we'll make that happen. I don't care if you have to drive, fly, whatever.
Yeah.
We
I
can do it
mean,
fast.
I think maybe we can call that national park and just be like, hey, we are
Is it crowded to
journalists.
death there now?
No. No one's going to be there. We'd probably be the only people there.
Joe Rogan posted it.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You know what's crazy is I went to this place, Karahan Tepi. I was texting you about it earlier. Karahan Tepi. And it was nothing when I was there. And today, Turkey posted a thing on their Twitter, like the official, like Travel Turkey Twitter. And they're promoting it now as like an official site.
Really?
When I was there, they had they just started excavations. It was like nothing at all.
Just be an archaeologist, dude. You need to be out there digging.
Right, I know, but now they just finished doing like a huge excavation. They found all kinds of stuff, crazy looking little human heads, carvings.
That's crazy. How long ago were you there?
2 years ago.
Okay, damn.
This is they're going to promote this. Like you're going to be seeing a lot of people talk about it now. Like I'm sure if Graham Hancock does like another podcast with Joe Rogan or another big podcast, he's going to be talking about this site now.
Like it's a big deal.
It's going to be a big deal now.
Like,
It's going to they're going to be promoting it as more significant than Göbekli Tepe.
What? So I know enough about Göbekli Tepe, but what is so important about it? Because it's just one of the oldest like sites.
Because we didn't think humans could build shit like that long
back
ago.
then. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
That's like it's like 4,000 years older than we thought.
Okay.
So it's like, what the fuck? Where is this? There's this huge gap. But obviously, I mean, you think 10,000, 12,000 years ago, what are you going to find?
Yeah. So it's like, okay, if you.
But we only
that,
found this because it was intentionally buried.
Yeah, I was going to say with sand, right? They covered it.
They covered it.
How do you
Yeah.
cover something like that.
It must have took as much time to cover it as it took to build the site.
And why?
Why?
It's like that dude. Like
Maybe someone conquered it and they were like, fuck this place, cover this shit.
That would be, dude, then what a coincidence. But it sounds
Yeah,
like
what a coincidence.
intentional.
Maybe
Yeah.
I don't. The thing is with these guys, they make so many stories up. They're like, this is where they lived, and this over here is where they walked to the temple. And it's just like, how do you know?
Yeah.
This is
bro.
12,000 years ago. You do not know what these people were thinking or what
I know.
anything.
They just want to paint a picture because people want a picture painted so bad. So like,
Yes.
all right, I'll tell you where they went.
Yeah, for sure. And it sells the story.
It does. Because then you're like, ooh, like you're seeing the whole.
This is the oldest temple in the
like
world.
us. Yeah.
But the thing about Göbekli Tepe, why it's a temple, is because there's no tools there. There's nothing around there that suggests people were living. But these other sites like Karahan Tepe, they're finding animal bones.
Right. People
They find
eating.
tools. They find, like stuff to suggest that people were living there.
Gotcha.
But 12,000 years ago, that's even before we had the wheel.
Before we knew we had the wheel.
I mean, come on, man. There's no way these people, like I went to the museum there and there's a giant wheel. And I'm just like, you're going to tell me these people didn't know how to roll this?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
For sure they did. And
or-
here's the thing: if time is fucking forever, if who knows how? When people say they know how old the planet is, that's what blows my mind. When they say they know
Yeah.
how old space is,
yeah.
because I get it. It's like, dude, Theo Von said it best. He to Joe Rogan when Joe Rogan was like, it's so infinite that there's actually a Dakota and a Davy doing this right now with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
exact setup an infinite amount of times and
Yeah.
a different version.
You're
we have
saying the
my
stuff
hair.
I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm in Mexico. Whatever. Like it's just that. Yeah.
We're with
planet's-
Crip Mac.
Yeah, Crip Mac's actually
Yeah.
always
We're in the
here.
Crips.
Dude, right, dude. Like every infinite thing is always going on.
I believe
And I
that.
still think that one's not going on no matter what. We're not with Grip Mac, no matter how many times you
Oh
play
my
this
god, dude!
out.
The fact he's selling fake IDs on Instagram is so
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah, that's mind blowing. It's like, dude, you can go to jail for that.
Yeah,
Like,
you're gonna go. He's going back to jail, I think, right?
is he? I don't know.
I don't
I
remember.
kind of got like bombarded with all the stuff, and I had to take a step back. Like Crip
He's
Mac's awesome, but dude, he, he's a character, you know?
he's a character.
Yeah. But,
Oh yeah.
but
So sorry. Go ahead.
that Theo Von was just like, I don't like that. He's like, I don't think so. And dude, I felt it so hard. Like, that's a part of me like that I truly like. It's I don't know what it is, but like somehow I can be like, I'm not a Christian at all. I was just brainwashed when I was a little kid, whatever. But something about it creeps back into me, like when I'm tripping or like when I really think about it. It's like, man, what if this is like all there? Like, you know what I mean? This is it. Like, it's up to us. Like this is more than just a random plan.
What if God is like, you motherfuckers? I sent my own kid. Like, what else did you need?
Yeah, it's like you forgot that fast.
I killed him to prove
Yeah.
a point, and you still
Brought
don't
him
get
back
it.
to life, like,
And brought him back
jeez.
to life.
And then he disappeared. Like, what do you want from me?
Like, I made
No,
him walk on water.
but or just like if this life is like something serious, like it's more than that, and this is all it. Like, this is our
Yeah.
game. There's no like space forever. But Theo Von was like, he Joe Rogan goes, but that's what the scientists say. He goes, yeah, but I think maybe they just got the building blocks wrong. Like, it's so funny to say, like, what, but like I feel where he's coming from. Like, it could also, it's like, could be either theory, right? And I'm not saying Jesus or anything like that, but like,
Well,
just like science feels whack
there's
sometimes.
no way. Well, the thing is, there are methods in which that they determine these ages. Like, they're not just pulling it out of their ass. Like, the observable universe, I don't know how they know it, but the observable universe of what we can take or what we can observe would have to have taken X amount of years for that to happen
Yeah,
based on the Big Bang.
or
But they're
and
still
a really,
like,
really
it's
smart
still
guy
kind
say
of
that.
bullshit. Like,
What
come
if he
on.
made? What if that's like, you know what I mean? What if that's like fake math? And it's like,
Well,
if I
someone would prove it if it was fake. That I feel like
well, you
science
try
is
to do.
competitive.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. But I think like, so it's like if I teach you all the names of these planets and all how like like it's shaped like this, and I make it all up, but then like the educational system
Right.
goes grading off my made up thing, like
Right.
that would be it then, And
Yeah.
I'm not saying with the measurements and stuff, that is where it gets like wonky again. But bro, the fact that like NASA or the Vatican has a telescope and it's called Lucifer, like,
Yeah.
dude, what are you guys doing? And the Vatican's like its own country, evil as fuck, what most people could say at this point. I would think that
I mean, yeah. Very, very
like
evil.
the people running it are straight up, yeah. Like, you look at the throne, it's got like this satanic Jesus on it, and like then
What is
whole
up with all that?
buildings-
What is up with all the spooky symbolism of the Vatican?
And dude, they're like covered in gold.
And what's up? Did we talk about the obelisk in the last podcast that we did? Because I'm
Uh,
getting ready to go back to Egypt, and I'm just thinking about like,
Oh, yeah, maybe it
why is
was
there
like that.
obelisk everywhere?
Yeah, and I think I asked what an obelisk was because I fucking forget.
An obelisk is like that the thing in Washington D.C., like the pointy thing.
It's not the pyramid looking.
Yeah, like the skinny, tall.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That thing. That's an
Satan's
obelisk.
dick. That thing is.
But those come from Egypt, and they stole them from Egypt and placed them around the world. So there's like there are original Egyptian ones scattered around the world. I think the Vatican has one. DC, Istanbul. There's like 5 more or something.
Dude, I mean, and like if you even start looking into like symbolism in America, it's as bad and as like satanic as anything at this point. I could be being trolled on a lot of stuff I'd say. Like, I take everything with a grain of salt, and I try, like, nothing I say is factual. But I'm pretty sure someone has mapped out like Washington, and like you can pretty much make like a pentagram, like in the
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
roads.
Or like an owl or something, right?
Yeah, how would they make that fake? We have also people. I don't know. It seems too
Oh,
coincidental.
we look for patterns too, you know.
True, for sure. But dude, so there's a bunch of weird stuff like that. Like Freemasonry, like their floors are always white and black checkered squares. So there's that big building. I want to say it's in New York, where it has no windows, at all. I'll look up what the building's called. Well, you know when that Wayfair shit was happening, like
Yeah.
with people are like, oh, people are buying kids on
Yeah.
Wayfair, and it's like someone ended up saying like on the news something was saying like it wasn't like, oh, this didn't happen, but we're just saying we don't think Wayfair is responsible. It's like, what? Like if they didn't really happen, you
That
would let everyone know.
that was creepy because like the thing wasn't weird about that it was so expensive that they were selling like a
No, shit's a
cabinet for $90,000 whatever. The weird thing was that the images were doctored and that the books and stuff
Yes, you saw
were,
that.
I saw that
Like they changed, and it was like a book that would relate to something like
that would be
very,
relating to some like pedophilia type of shit or something
or
weird,
like
satanic type stuff.
the number would be the girl's missing.
Yeah.
Dude. And it's
And it
like
was in
someone's
different
trolling them.
listings would be the same picture but with different edits in it, and it was really
Yeah.
listed on there.
Yeah, it was, and then they were like, "Are we being trolled or like what?" It's like, no, you know what I mean?
I don't know why. How do you explain
That
that?
just seems like someone was really doing that through that. Like, no
It
matter
really
what.
seems like someone was doing it because that the editing and the fact that those listings were real is weird.
So that's how I found out about that website where if you put it, like some guy made a video on that, and it's the website. If you like say if you have a picture and I put it on this website, it'll show me what you edited. Like it'll be blue.
Yeah.
And the whole books are blue.
Yep.
And, and then so that building Wayfair is right next to that building that has no windows, and people like speculate that that is actually NSA or whatever spying on everyone through like it's like a a spy building pretty much.
Yeah.
Like it can withstand a hurricane. And Wayfair's right next to it. And then Wayfair has the fucking Freemason squares on its top, the top of its whole roof. It's just like, because I don't care. Like if like that's not where things become coincidental. It's like you either bought a Freemason building, made it Wayfair, or there's something weird with Wayfair. Like you know what I mean? Because like at that high of the game, none of like people put those squares for it.
There is, but there is some like. The thing is about that symbolism is that it's so all over the place that no, not that's fake. I think it might be real because it's everywhere. Why it's almost it can't be the coincidence that it's everywhere.
Right, exactly. But where
like there's, well, I remember when I was in Prague, walking around Prague, there's the all-seeing eye. There's stuff everywhere.
Everywhere,
and you just see it spread all around the world. And it's like, what are these people? How are these people connected? And why is it still going on?
Yeah.
Like when it's the modern, yeah. Like where is this? What is this obsession? It's just like, it's a secret society that's just been passed down, or
dude, they just it's those fucking reptilians, man.
Yeah, David Icke. What are we going to talk to him about?
Well, dude, this is what I would like to, because okay, I mean, obviously, I've been like watching some of his old stuff, but it's a lot of stuff I kind of remember, like him talking about. But I want to like ask him like how things are today with that. Like, we should aim at like
the reptilians
about new conspiracies. Yeah, does he think reptilians are are they actually involved in our government?
He might not want to talk about it because he doesn't talk about it anymore.
Well, we could bring up like Emerald Bird if he knows who that is and shit.
Who? General Bird, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can bring that stuff up.
I think, well, and then what if he's just like, what would he want to talk about if he doesn't want to talk about conspiracies though? I'll ask him what he thinks.
Well,
about
the reptilian thing, because he doesn't talk about I think that kind of ruined his reputation a little bit. Well, I want to talk to him about that, but I think we just
butter him up.
I don't want to offend him, and
we could like go towards that road, like aliens. Keep saying it, and be like, what about aliens
well,
that have been here forever that have tails?
Yeah. What about aliens that have scales and shapeshift?
Yeah. What would you call those?
Yeah. But fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, I've been watching his old stuff. That's what I was getting at. So I'm gonna watch his newer stuff, see what he's done lately, and then I'll be able to feel it out better on like how, you know what I mean?
Well, I watched it too. The stuff he's talking about lately is kind of COVID and the globalist, and I mean, like that stuff's cool, but
we just keep bringing back. You think reptilians started COVID? We won't let it go. It
I
is
thought
cool,
like
but also,
maybe if he believes in the afterlife, if he's taking
yeah,
psychedelics.
for sure. That I mean, that's a given. I don't think
The
anyone really
reptilian
has.
visions that are very common in psychedelics. Why is that so common?
He's like, God damn.
God damn it.
Oh, dude, that is so fucking funny. But yeah, no, I think we're always gonna ask people stuff about psychedelics. There's no way. I
Yeah.
always want to know.
Yeah.
Anytime I meet anybody that's slightly famous or anything, I always ask them.
Well, he did do ayahuasca before actually, but I would still like
Okay.
to ask him about it.
Yeah, like why did he do it?
Yeah,
What
why
he
did he
saw
do
in
it? What experience?
He's like, all I saw was reptilians. I mean, for real though, dude.
Well, I think
I've seen reptilians, something like that, tripping.
well, there is strange connections between ancient cultures and modern cultures of serpent worship.
Even in the Bible.
Even in the Bible, Moses
Even
has
the
a
snake.
staff and he uses a staff to heal people, and he takes it and he goes to like slam it on the ground and it turns into a snake.
Right.
So I mean, there are so many. There are a lot of symbolisms where the snake is represented in a context of healing, like that, for
I thought
example.
it turned into a snake and it like denied it, like the spell didn't work.
Yeah, I think so, but
You just
still,
mean in general, like the
in
two
general,
snakes are the DNA serpent.
the
you know what I
DNA
mean?
serpent. When you see like the
Medical stuff.
with the medical
Yeah.
symbol is two snakes. So you always find it with this context of healing with it. So it's Kundalini,
Right.
the ayahuasca
I
serpent.
wonder why. I never even thought about that. Like, and then it's like back to trickery and religion. It's like, are they trying to make you not like reptilians?
They're trying to make
snakes?
you definitely. I really do believe the Bible is doing that, because all of these pagan, the way the Bible worked, the way the church worked back then was they would you had to convert the pagans by appropriating their traditions. That's why we put Christmas trees in our house. That's why we do all this stuff, because they're like, oh yeah, no, you guys, you're worshiping the right stuff, but the wrong names for it. So they'd be like, yeah, that's right. That's Jesus. You know, that holiday's right, but it's not about, Easter. It's about Jesus resurrecting or whatever,
Right.
So they appropriate these pagan traditions as a way to convert people, or they killed them. So as a way to scare the pagans from their own traditions, they had to say the serpent's bad, even though all these traditions for thousands and thousands of years worship the divine serpent. I mean,
Right.
from the Aboriginals in Australia talked about this beautiful rainbow serpent. You have the Mayans talking about Kulakan, or however you pronounce it, and the Aztecs with Quetzalcoatl, and in the Bible, Zeus's original form was a serpent.
Really?
Yeah, he was turned into a man later.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Lightning fucking serpent. But dude, yeah, and then so like even on further with that is like we're like, oh, they're like back in the day people used to say, oh, they're selling snake oil, like that shit's fake.
snakes and
Like,
snake
damn.
oil.
And that's like one of the weirdest
You
things.
can
like,
actually
when
buy snake oil here
Can you?
in the markets. Like, yeah, crazy.
Wonder what it does.
I don't know, lube or something.
All day. Nice. But yeah, like it's just like my first time like really having a hard mushroom trip, I laid down and I saw the Bible like cracking in front of me. And I already was like getting to a point where I didn't really believe everything. Dude, so when I was a kid, I went to church every single Sunday, sometimes Wednesday, we were hard into it. My dad was like not fresh out of prison, but like he was like, this is keeping me on track. So they were all about it. Dude, and I'll never forget the day I was going to get baptized. I thought I was going to like what I would now assume would be like an ibogaine or ayahuasca ceremony. Like I was like shook about it. I was like, oh man, I'm about to like go through a transformation. I was fucking. So dude, I get there. Everybody's like a whole
The power of
church.
ritual.
Yeah, bro, there's only me and one other person getting baptized, and there's a packed church watching us. And I'm like, I'm actually kind of old. It's almost embarrassing that I thought it's still gonna be like that, because I'm like 13 at this point. I'm like, oh, I'm about to literally be this nicest person ever. After I'll never have another bad thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I walk in the back, and there was a big painting of like a river you're walking down, into just a fucking hot tub at the
Jordan
beginning.
River.
Yeah, so I'm walking down this fucking painting, and I walk into the bathtub, and it's my dad and the preacher. And the preacher, everyone's like kind of still like chatting, everyone's like kind of talking amongst each other. So it's he's like
Was he
talking to me and my dad in
circumcised?
private. Yeah, he's like, can you show me it real quick? No, dude. He was like,
Real thick.
oh,
This
he's
one.
like, it's slaps me on the back. He's like, it's getting warm in here. Did you pee or something? I was
He
like,
said that?
what? Yeah, that was like right away. The first thing he said, it's getting warm in here. Did you pee or something? Dude, my brain instantly thought this old man just pissed in here. Like I literally thought that right away. I was like, dude, I do not trust this guy. And I was like, man, like so instantly, I'm like, this is off to a rough start, because I like I just who the fuck would say that, So then I get dunked down, and I'm like, still, that's just ringing in my head that like this old man might have just pissed in here. Like I couldn't get out of it.
You're like, yeah, it is a little warm.
I was like, came in and it was warm. So he pulls me up, and I remember like right away just being like, oh fuck, it didn't work. Like my first thought. And I was like, no different. Dude.
Fuck.
Driving home, it was like all like I was just like
The worst thoughts.
wrong with me. Yeah.
Like, I fucking hate everybody.
Yeah.
All the worst
Burn
things are
that
coming out.
church down, old man pissed. Yeah, bro. But I was just like, oh, there's something wrong with me, because like that works for everyone else, but not me. Then I find out, that
It doesn't work for anybody, actually.
Exactly. Yeah. It's quite fake, rather.
It's just you dunking yourself in water.
Yeah, it's with some guy.
Yeah, some old
You
man
don't
making
really
piss
know.
jokes.
And then to fast forward to today, now I feel like I kind of knew some shit as a kid. I was smarter than I thought. So there was this girl that I was in Sunday school with all the time, and her mom was like the Sunday school teacher, and they would always like sit us next to each other, like they're gonna be married one day, we're same age, whatever. So my preacher is way older than us. Fast forward to today, that girl has 2 fucking kids with that preacher.
Oh man.
Yeah. So he was like with her since she was a baby,
Jesus.
And I was like, man, this is my church experience.
Yeah.
We had Jesus. Oh, then last Detroit churches are not all bad, but this one was obviously something going on. This is just my experience, but I'm sure a lot of people really found great things with it. But I went downstairs one time with my dad, because he like would do like he was kind of a part.
Which
of
church did you guys go to?
7th Street Baptist.
What roads is it on?
I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I can't find out. I'm sure it's not that anymore, so I
Yeah.
don't mind saying it. I know that it's not, because another preacher passed away and everyone left. But yeah, so
I used to have sex in church parking lots.
really,
Yeah.
damn,
There was one by my house.
that's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
You had a
was
much
like-
better experience at church than me then.
Yeah. Yep. That was my spot that I would go when I was like young and I had my car. Like, I was going
Really?
up to the church at the corner.
Okay, I thought you meant like at church. and meeting
No,
girls.
that would be cool. I never got to
Yeah.
do that.
Some girls just winking at you.
Yeah.
I love
Me and the
church.
priest.
Yeah, it's him. Yeah, she's
It's the
dating
same
him.
guy that's got the 2 kids now.
Yeah, exactly.
What does he look like?
Dude, so I walked downstairs with like my dad and everybody. It's the end of church. You know how they go and like get money from everyone? Dude, I'm not kidding at all. There's 3 money counters going just counting all this money, and this church was like not shit, but it was decently nice inside. But yeah, it was very, very cult-like and
Yeah, we
very
gotta start
dark.
a church.
Yeah, they don't pay taxes
They don't pay
on
taxes.
anything. You go to, dude, you want to buy a couch for your house? Say you're buying it for the church. For real. These dudes are criminals now I think about it.
Like Joel Osteen, that guy's got like a $40 million house.
That's
It is
if
the
I was gonna
church.
guess anyone's
Yeah, it's a house
reptilian,
for the church.
that guy's a fucking reptilian for
Oh,
sure.
that guy is definitely or that old man. You ever seen that one old man? Where they're like that one lady was like, "Sir, you said that you would never ride in the airplane because."
That's who I'm talking about. That's what I
Oh.
thought you meant.
No, Joel Osteen's like a younger guy,
like-
but that guy is scary. That old man.
And smiles at her.
Oh God, the video is
He's
so
a
scary.
Psychopath, bro.
When he says, he's like, "Don't you say that, woman." Something is like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you
And
know
then,
that guy
like-
just beats the fuck out of his wife.
Yeah, dude, a lot of people. And everyone loves him. So this old man just beating the shit out of you. You can't do nothing back. He's
Jesus.
a billionaire. And he's like,
God,
I
it's
did not
scary.
say that. And then he like smiles at her and then tries like
Yeah.
pulling it back in. It's like you saw the demon just like right up
Oh,
front.
man.
He's like, please, don't get us canceled.
And it's fucked up because he must know in his head, right, that he's bullshit.
Yeah, but I mean that's gotta, that's a part of it. He's like, I don't know. I feel like there's like a form of schizophrenia there. It's like you're bullshit, but like you're like, I don't know. Yeah,
But you're
he sure
bullshit
knows he's
for
bullshit.
God. You're like, otherwise God wouldn't do this for me.
Or yeah, why am I balling?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Why am I balling if God don't love me so much?
Yeah,
Shut the fuck
exactly.
up. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
That's the devil, dude. That
Yeah,
guy's the fucking devil for sure.
that guy is a devil. It's scary.
And that's what that's it comes full circle. And like I've a bunch of people probably have really good things to say about Christianity, and it's worked really well for them. And do amen to that. Like if it's helping you at all, run with it.
Well, there's
But
people that really get it, and then
yeah,
there's the extremist.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's like but I just feel like all of it. It's like all the priests, the higher up you go, it's like you're more of a hierarchy of like you're like Satan's like favorite.
I wonder at
one of
which
his favorite
point,
demons.
yeah, at which point do you get the book that's like, here's the ritual with the kids.
Yeah, I know, right? You only have you go do it tonight and watch how much money you get tomorrow.
I mean, why else? Why is it so prevalent? Those types of things to happen in churches.
Oh my god, I know, dude. That's so fucked up. Like, and it's so common that it's like if you had a gang and that gang did something that like they have a MO, right? Like, oh, that gang's known for blowing up cars.
Yeah.
They're known for fucking kids. Like,
Yes.
It's fucked up that it is to say. Yeah. How
And
does it exist still?
and if there was any organization that was spread across the country that was tax free, and just throughout the years, you're just like, damn, like why are they fucking kids all over the country
Yeah.
tax free? Like what is going on?
And it's like they found, and then you hear
Tax
about
free,
it, it's like
as
they
if that
all-
matters. Tax free.
Yeah. Super evil. Fucking
Right.
kids is one thing, but being tax free doing it. So evil as you could be. No, dude. Yeah, that's funny as fuck. It does though. It's like it just shows like they run the world. It does mean a lot that they're tax free.
But it just
Like-
where that it, but any other organization that was tax free, if they were fucking kids, there would be some sort of like, I don't know. I feel like we should be trying to shut that down.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, any organization, but no, for sure. And then it's
But with the
like
church, to get away with it.
Yeah, and like you're saying about the Vatican, remember like when it caught fire, how many people were like sending billions of dollars like to save it, but the forest
Vatican
on
caught
fire all
fire?
day. Yeah, the Vatican didn't it catch on fire? Like
No, I think that Notre
2012?
Dame tower caught on fire.
Oh, okay. The Vatican needs to catch on fire,
But the Vatican had the pyramid in front of it too, right? A glass pyramid.
dude. Yeah, the Vatican's sketchy as fuck. I think they like go by their own like laws. Like they're not a
Yeah,
country.
they're their own jurisdiction.
It's so crazy. Like, excuse me? Like that's and then there's like I don't know how many people don't pay taxes, but it's like the churches and Scientology. Everyone else has to.
Yeah. Did you pick a podcast name yet?
I think I'm gonna go with the Davy Dose. I think I'm going.
Maybe
to.
does.
It's what's gotten the most feedback. That's what we're gonna go with.
Do you want to do the first episode after
do it.
this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Should we wrap this one up and we'll start yours?
Yeah, we'll end it on that and then hop over.
Okay, so for anybody that's interested in hearing this conversation, you can head over to
A Davy Dose podcast.
a
on
Davey
YouTube.
Does podcast. It'll be the first episode. Yeah, I mean, I imagine you're going to talk about this kind of stuff, right? Just like conspiracies, or I mean,
Yeah,
just
for sure.
psychedelics, the same kind of stuff I talk about on this channel.
Honestly, we've always been talking about this our whole lives. It's
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. And it's cool. You know, we'll get you some interesting guests on there. Maybe like if we could get David Icke for another conversation with you, that'd be so cool. Because I would love to do
Yeah,
it,
for
to
sure.
do it twice, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how
I
can
have some
people
pretty cool
find it?
people- I have some pretty cool people already lined up, surprisingly. So anything actually like that would just be amazing. But I'm gonna post it probably the same time you post yours, just to keep it, part 2 roll.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. You can find it on YouTube. Do you have a YouTube link yet?
We'll have one by the end of this.
By then, Davey
Then,
Doe's, hopefully Davey Doe's podcast, potentially. Whatever it is, it'll be in the description below. This is the first episode, so cut us some slack.
Yeah, exactly. And you can go to my Instagram, instagram.com/Davey Reed. It'll be there.
DAVEYREED. That'll be in the description too. Okay. So I'm gonna hang up this one and then maybe do you want to do
Yeah, we'll practice the ropes. We'll go through it. I'll call you.
Okay, everybody. Peace out.
Love you.
Thank you for listening to A Place for Humans podcast. My name is Dakota Wouldnt, and you can listen to full episodes of A Place for Humans anywhere you listen to podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever. And please head over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a positive review. That really helps. Anyways, catch you next episode.
A place for humans.